All right, so let's get right into it. What's going on, y'all? And I'm back with another one. So today we're going to be out here making deliveries from Long Island City, Queens to Coney Island, Brooklyn. And today I want to talk about one of the core investments in my portfolio. It's called the Fidelity Zero Total Market Index Fund with ticker symbol FZROX. Now, I'm proud to say that I own 111 shares of this fund. And over time, it's become one of the foundations of my long-term investment strategy. Now, while I'm out here dealing with traffic, tolls, fuel, pickups, deliveries, and all of the shenanigans across the city, it's only right that my money is going to work for me while I'm out there busting my ass. So throughout today's route, I'm going to break down why I invested into FZROX and how it's performed and why I believe consistency and long-term investing is going to help me out in the future. So FZROX covers thousands of companies across the U.S. economy. Y'all ready for this? So it covers companies like NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Tesla, Berkshire Hathaway, all of those US juggernauts. So I started to invest in FZROX last year in 2025. You know, I was looking for something long-term and something incredibly stable. Now, one thing about investing, and everybody knows this, the stock market, you essentially is gambling with your money. Anybody that tells you that, they don't even know what they're talking about. But when I think about it, right, building wealth gradually through consistency is something that's very, very important to me. I know it's not going to be an overnight thing, and I know becoming wealthy is something that I know that I can do over time. All right, so as I stated earlier, you know, I was delivering a lot of this stuff from morning till afternoon. So what you're looking at is rolled up waterproofing equipment. And I'm telling you, when I say this stuff is heavy, this stuff is heavy. Each of these rolls can weigh anywhere between 80 pounds to 100 pounds. Now, at the drop-off site, I got lucky because they had the entire construction staff ready to unload. When I had to go back to the warehouse to return some of their older equipment, this is what I had to do. I had to unload all of this myself. Now, it wasn't the original 4,000 pounds, but they sent me back in my truck with 500 pounds to unload. Usually these guys at the unloading warehouse, they'll pretend like they're not available or they're out for lunch. So instead of just asking and going in and asking for help, I decided to get some extra exercise to just knock it out myself. All right, so let's get back to FZROX. And one thing I really like about it is its long-term performance and consistency. Now, I told you guys earlier that I own just over 100 shares. I owe exactly 111 to be exact. Since the fund invests across thousands of companies in the US economy, why shouldn't I be all over this? I mean, it gives me broad exposure instead of relying on just one stock. Now, for me personally, it's become one of the core foundations of my portfolio because it allows me to grow with the overall market while staying focused on long-term investing instead of short-term hype. You know, from a numbers perspective, at approximately $26 per share, and the fact that I own 111 of them, you know, this represents a very meaningful long-term position for me. You know, I always say that the most powerful aspect of this investment story that I'm trying to show you guys is about the discipline and the consistency behind building this position over time while I'm a small business owner and actively running a courier business in the New York region. FZROX has a 0% expense ratio. That means we don't have to pay anybody any money to operate the fund. I mean, how lucky is that? How lucky do we have, are we, excuse me, of owning a huge part of the US economy and we don't have to pay anybody to do it? Now, I'm telling you, let me break this down just a little bit more because this is when some of us can get confused. With the 0% expense ratio, that means over the long term, that can make a huge difference because more of your money stays invested and continues growing through compounding. For long-term investors like myself, that's huge. So just a reminder, I am not a financial advisor. I'm a small business owner in the New York City region running a transportation courier business. On my channel, I take you guys through all of the ins and outs and deliveries that I do throughout the course of the city. And I also incorporate how I am investing my earnings. At the end of the day, every mile I drive, every delivery I complete, every early morning and late night is all a part of a bigger plan for me. I'm not just working to pay bills, I'm working to continue to strengthen my ownership, build long-term wealth, and provide a better future for my family. Now that's why I'm investing into FZROX, Fidelity Zero Total Market Index Fund. The fund gives me the opportunity to grow alongside the American economy while continuing to build my business one delivery at a time. Now, I'm not sure what field of work you're in, but let me say this. Whether you're driving trucks, working a construction business, I don't know, you run a salon, you're working on Wall Street, or you're grinding through the 9 to 5, consistency matters. And with that said, you gotta keep on building, you gotta keep investing, you gotta keep believing in what I call the long-term game. I want to thank you guys, man, for tuning into my channel. I hope that we can continue to collaborate and get more subscribers. Till next time, y'all. Thanks so much. Peace.